You gotta feel it back at home, but I'm cruising down the highway, chasing the dream my way, doing what God say. Walking with the spirit of faith, praise with grace. Ain't no way I'm turning my back.
This is Milton with Mountain Climbers, and I'm here with some very special guests. I had the opportunity to meet Kemal, and Kemal is with diversified management. Kemal has done professional security for some of the industry's finest, and I met Kemal through Naps King Chris. This thing has been a really powerful process, but I'd like to introduce my guests. To my left, would you like to introduce yourself, sir, and tell your affiliation?
Rob Griffin, a.k.a. Chief. I don't know what else they would like me to speak, but I'm a former Piston, of course. I'm in the cannabis game, partner of Endo. I have a plethora of business I partner in. I have a body groomer. We just hit Shark Tank April 18th. Doing pretty swell in that. And also a tequila company. Pretty much just partner with, and I'm here with Milt to get this platform and the things we want to do here in the future locked in. I'm here at the studios, kicking it with the fellas, and we got some more ventures even after this. You know what I mean? But I'm thankful to be here. Thanks for having me, Milt. Nice to meet my guy Kemal over here.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Tie it in a knot.
Kemal, Mailey, Urban Diversity Security Services usually go by the initials UDSS, is a little bit shorter for people. Pretty well versed in the music game, so we got urban, everything falls underneath the Urban Diversity banner, so Urban Diversity Music Group, Urban Diversity Security Services. As we were just looking at the pro audio equipment that they have in the building and the green screen, I was just telling them that, you know, I am a person who also creates toys. And they have some people who are doing stop motion and Lego animation here, and it's right up the alley of some of the stuff that I do. I have urban diversity toys and comics as well, so I have a pantheon of toys that I'm actually looking in the future at some point very soon to bring to the table and put in to motion so that people can actually see it in action. That's the coolest way to look at it. But then I also have Urban Diversity Muscle Flex Training, which is a fitness program. I teach boot camp classes, so a lot of calisthenics and plyometrics. Pretty well rounded. I keep everything under that banner, so it's pretty easy to remember. And right after the surname, the job of the day comes at the end. So whether it's security, fitness, me creating some toys, or being your bodyguard, get it done.
So Kemal.
Yes, sir.
Tell me some of the people you've bodyguarded, man.
I do a lot of bodyguard work. I'm a native Detroiter, so, you know, I grew up a mile away from Trick. I end up doing a lot of his bodyguard work a lot. As I work for him, that puts me in the box with a lot of other people. So Trick ends up being around that's somebody who knows everybody. I do know a lot of people in the industry. Trick knows everybody. Literally. Like, he's met people that I haven't met yet, for sure. And I've met a lot, but he's been across the board. So when I roll with him, I meet a lot of people, but in my own ventures, I mean, there's been 50 Cent, the Wu-Tang Clan, Little Boosie, and go on Applies, U-Turn, Warren G, Ice Cube. I can go on forever. It's a long list of people. Bodyguard list has grown from doing tours. I started off, I think the first big tour that I think we did was 2 Live Crew. I was on networking with Esham previous to that, and we did some heavy metal groups. So
Esham?
I did Skid Row. That was an interesting bodyguard job that I did. But after that, I started getting requested by a lot of people. So I ended up on like the No Lames Allowed tour with Spice One. So when you're rolling with him, that puts you in a box with like a lot of people. Young Bleed and Spice One roll together a lot. Then there's Sibo, who's always with them, etc. Sibo, somebody Young Bleed introduced me to, is making comic books, which I make comic books and toys, and he has some things that in his comic book that I could construct and actually make him some prototypes for. So we found common ground on that, working together. And I've been in a lot of worldwide publications. So Soul Central magazine is the largest urban magazine in the UK. That puts you around the world industry. There's a lot of big entities in that magazine. So,
Yes,
But
sir.
so pretty much you've been all around the world and you've done some stuff in the and nationally that put you on the platform where you got a lot of celebrities just calling out because you've done these work with some of these celeb people. So you got a name out there.
absolutely.
Cool.
To cut to the chase, I mean, if you want to make a story condensed down, that would sum it up in a nutshell for me. I've been across the board as a bodyguard. I've done a lot of work with a lot of different artists, and I've started opening up live for them on stage as I'm a musician as well. So that ends up
Multi-talented, bro.
being all-encompassing in there. It makes my day pretty hectic and full when that day comes because I'm covering some security. I'm gonna get up on the stage and perform, and worrying about artist security and event security are two different things because you got to make sure that the floor is going right too. You want to stop any problems before they happen. So there's a lot that goes into doing events and working as a unit. I think all of us, as a unit, planning on making some big successful ones happen,
So we basically we obtained the Cooley Law Stadium. So we Kemal and I and Mustafa. Shout out to Mustafa 8 Mile.
Yeah, 313.
313. We obtained the Cooley Law Stadium, man. That is huge. No one's done that.
Yeah, it's 12,000 seats.
12,000 seats, man. And I mean that's huge because we also obtained the Wharton Center. That's about 2,500 seats plus the Passat Theater, which is around 600.
Yeah, she said the big theater is 2,600, I believe she said, and the small one seats almost 700 people.
As well as the venue 111, the Lansing Mall, which seats about 9.
Yes.
Shout out to Chenier.
They
We're
have
at the
a
restaurant over there on Willow there. Chenier. He has a restaurant for us, and he's able to accommodate with us, and he's also focused on a lot of autism matters. He has some autism in his family, and he really is for the autism cause. And so we probably shoot over there. It's just down the street, and you go check out his restaurant. That's another place that we can check out after this.
Definitely.
Oh, that's cool that you even speak about the autism. I actually am a part of a nonprofit myself called Exceptional Journeys, and we're out of the Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor area. We're the only one of its kind. We have a center upstairs and downstairs just to create a comfortable environment for, mentally challenged, autism on the spectrum, and disabled adults, and also give their parents or their caretakers a break during the day. So they can bring them up to the center from like 9 to 4, 9 to 3 on certain days. And then some of the parents are involved in the program too. So I can't wait to meet my guy. So I see a lot of synergy with that, with that meeting.
What do you want to, what's the dream, Rob? What's the dream?
Well, I grew up definitely in the community. My grandmother, man, we got a key to the city, right? From Ypsi to Ann Arbor and pretty much in Detroit. I grew up with her, right? I've been watching her. Of course, I got my parents, but she's been a a mentor to me before she passed away. She helped so many people in the community, bro. She started doing stuff with like the DHS programs, like back in the day when they was like starting the program. She was like head of the program in that area. She built homes for disabled adults, transitioning people who can't take care of themselves. So she had one in Ipsy, she had one in Inkster, and Romulus, and I think Taylor, matter of fact. So by seeing her work and all the stuff she has done in the community, that only I want to keep that legacy going in her honor, because I see how many people she helped, I see how many people it affected, and it resonates, you know what I mean? So she doesn't need all the big shout outs from everybody, but it's crazy when I come towards Lansing or meet anybody in the state, some of them can just look at my face and be like, who's your family? And I tell them Johnny May, Grantham, and George. They'd be like, oh, great family, because I remember being a kid at a lot of ribbon cuttings. She helped a lot of these state people get in their position right now. So I just want to keep that legacy going, because that's part of my life, been part of my life my whole life. So
I really
helping
believe
people.
that, Rob, because the reason why I believe that is because I grew up that way.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a community activist, man.
Mm-hmm.
He ran Black Child and Family Institute,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a director of Black Child and Family Institute with Ernie Boone.
Mm-hmm.
He also was a director of New Way In, which was a prison reentry system.
Okay.
He also created the program, or helped implement the program for the Glass House and the Holden House, which was a rehab. Created the Ingham Health Plan Insurance Program. He was the president of that, as well as served with the Michigan Data Homeless Information Systems as a statewide coordinator. He also worked for the city of Lansing for 25 years, allocating nonprofit funds amongst all the nonprofit organizations in Lansing, and served quality control from McLaren Hospital for 10 years. Volunteered to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so my family, we believe in giving back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're humble people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what this is about. And the business side of everything is a tool for me to give back.
Mm-hmm.
That's my intention. To keep, my dad is suffering from cancer right now. He has leukemia.
Okay.
And my mother's organs are shutting down. And this is
Yeah, my
something
dad just had prostate. It's in remission right now, so we
No.
good with him. But yeah, I definitely get it, bro.
so
I definitely get
being
it.
able to just carry, something that was given to me
Yeah.
is real important to give back to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I really am motivated by that, and part of that, and most of that, is my relationship with Yahweh and Yahshua, man.
Yeah.
Because I was saved, and I always had a relationship, but I never really believed in that relationship. I never really
You
stuck
just never
by
walked
that.
the path.
Right.
Right.
And so growing up as a kid, we would always pray at the dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
We'd always, say our graces before.
You know what it is, but didn't construct it in your life.
It's real important to have that background growing up, even if you don't have it, to come to it, because without it, this world is a footstool, basically.
For sure.
We're either in this world, of this world, or we're from not of this world. There's only two types of people that resonate inside of this earth: people of the world and people not from the world. And people that are not from this world, believe in a higher power, whatever that means to them. Right, and so they have a somewhat of a spiritual awakening.
Star children, chosen ones,
Right.
ones who get sent there
That
with
DNA.
the informationals. They lead the rest of society forward.
And not the ones that sell out, calling themselves star children because they think they made it.
Yeah, or because it's trendy right now.
Yeah.
It's trending on Facebook.
Yeah, because remember, a lot of them
Hashtag
used to
Star
call
Child.
themselves Star Child, like even years ago.
Yeah, or Indigo.
Yeah.
Speaking of Star Child, your toys, man, are very intergalactic.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people see just toys, and I see things where I've channeled information that actually exist.
Mm-hmm.
So the designs are things like all my planes would actually fly.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're aerodynamically cut, but they're not being made with a machine. I got a pair of scissors and some glue.
Right.
I just know how.
Right.
And I don't know why I know how. I shouldn't know how to do it. I actually ran into somebody who I went to high school with, and I showed her pictures of it, and she stopped and looked at me like, I was like, how do you know how to do this? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I was just doing it around. She's like, nah, My daughter works for the largest aerospace company in the state, and you have to go through 40 years of schooling to know how to even begin to do what you're making. I don't know how you know how to do that, but no, what the story you just told me ain't checking out.
It happens.
Rob,
Yeah.
It happens.
what's your viewpoint on the universe, man? Do you believe in celestial beings? Do you believe in like Anunnaki, the outsiders and things like that? What's your stance on that?
Outer space.
I'm a stand like this. We can't be the only ones. If there's humans out here and we have planets, me seeing them, they could be right in front of me. Hell, I could be one, right? Just talking mess, right? But, I mean, if they're out there, I believe in a lot. I believe in the spirit. So, yes, I do, I guess, in a sense. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I look at the spirit, like we got a physical and then we got a spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Our bodies
For sure.
are physical, but they harness spiritual, and there's a dimension here that we cannot see that's going on in this room actually right now. There's a whole nother form of reality
Yeah,
that we
it's
cannot
11
even
You
have.
could see if you opened that eye to see it. though,
It's
right?
11 spatial dimensions that science has proven it actually exist outside of the ones that we can easily perceive. That there are 11 spatial dimensions.
Facts.
So, that which we see as paranormal with different perception, which is different light spectrum. Most of your perception goes through light spectrum. You would be able to see things that you call ghosts, spirits, all that stuff. It's there. It's just that the human eye doesn't perceive it. We perceive
No,
all
we
types
see
of
it
things.
sometimes. I definitely believe in stuff like that because
Yeah,
everything has they say everything has an explanation, right?
absolutely.
But you have to explain it why it occurs after a certain situation. Like okay, I'll give you one example. I was a kid, me and my sister, one of my uncles passed away, or one of my aunties, one of those, whatever it was. Oh, one of my aunties, or my dad's sister. So, for whatever it was that night, we had to stay, I guess, because he was procuring the house and he was putting the house in his name. But whatever, I think he was going to the funeral the next day or something. But we stayed the night, like, we have our own house, but we stayed the night in our auntie house that night. I guess a lot of people, and we have people stay in our house, whatever. We had to stay in the dead person's house, right? So this was the craziest thing, and and I stayed over my auntie house plenty of times. This has never happened. Never. So me and my sister, we in their room, it's lights off. Our parents in their room, we know nobody's it's just us in the house. Dude, me and my sister could not sleep because we already heard something. Like,
Man.
we just heard something, like, and we know they're asleep. My parents, they wasn't up moving around, and it's just like 4 of us in the house.
Yeah.
So we like, man, me and my sister were like, man, you hear that? We like, yeah. Now, we looked directly at the door. So what we heard was in the hallway. Now we looked directly we both seen, this was not a dream, it was like you know how like the mist, it was like getting dark, but then we just seen the door just push open like somebody was walking through it, and then it just stopped before it hit the door. It hit the wall. Man, we got us so fast out of there.
Like somebody opened the door with their arm open like this and just
Our parents were asleep. Nobody in the house but us. And the way that door went open, there was no wind in the house, no fan moving. Now this instant, it was weird. I said, oh, yo, so that was, and I think my mom and them were saying, oh yeah, that was their spirit. Because my Uncle Griffin used to always be at that house with his sister, with my auntie, you know what I mean? That was the spirit. That was,
Absolutely.
oh my, because he was staying there before he ended up passing away too. It was like right around the same time, kind of like. It was crazy, man.
So there's from a
That was
lot of
crazy.
people who are into the newly passed over into the next realm people, they say that
They don't know
it takes about 2 weeks for people to actually come to the point where they realize they're dead, and then they are able to, because they have unfinished business here, and you have to figure out how to still get it accomplished without a body. There's ways to actually make things move and all types of stuff like that. You just have to figure out how to do it without the shell now.
Right?
I think it gets complex.
Yeah, because
Like
that's wild.
I was laying down next to my wife, and I was awakened, and it wasn't a creepy feeling, but there was this little midget with his legs crossed like this, and his arms crossed like this, and he was sitting on my wife's chest, looking at me like this, like Kemal's looking at me right now, and he had a dog face, and I had a dog face and a human body, and I did not understand what that meant, so I started typing in dog face human body.
Yeah,
I
you
can
talk
tell
about
you.
some
I can tell.
stuff.
No,
So
I
you
can tell
probably
you
been
exactly
thinking
what
about-
it is. I know what. I
Anubis.
know what. I know
Oh.
what the names of them are and everything.
Oh, what's his name?
Anubis.
Okay.
He
There's
crossed.
one more.
He crosses over
Oh,
people
or
from
Hotep.
afterlife.
No.
Hotep, the dude Hotep, right?
But the little beings, right?
He was a midget. I mean, he was, and then he pixelated like squares, like the Matrix, like.
I feel like he was thinking about something before he went to sleep, or either he was on some shrooms. No.
Well,
No, I had woken up out of a sleep,
No,
and it wasn't scary.
Check this out. They're called duendes. You can look them up. The duendes are little tiny beings exactly like what you just described, and they do sit on your chest, and sometimes they give you sleep paralysis and things like that. People wake up in the middle of the night and you can't move, you can't breathe. The only thing you can do is move your eyes back and forth and things like that. But
No, that is called sleep paralysis, because that used to happen to me a lot.
they're called.
I'll be woke, can't say a word, I believe, and
Yep.
you like wake up too early or something. You can't really even see nothing. You
The
just
reason
like,
why I tie
and you
this
gotta
in-
calm your body down,
Right,
Because
right.
if you
I've
stay
been
hyper,
paralyzed.
you be stuck in that mode. You think
Right.
you can move.
Right.
Look, I didn't turn.
Face turning white like this.
Oh,
Can't
girl,
even
like
scream.
I'm over there like, dang, she can't.
Yeah.
But then when I finally come to, I'll be like, man, you couldn't hear me? Like I couldn't hear nothing, man. I was over there.
couldn't even move.
I'm
Couldn't
woke.
move.
So
Nothing.
I'm seeing you.
So
Yeah.
sometimes when
You
you're
know what
in
I mean?
that state and you can't move, you're awake, but you can't move. The thing that's sitting on your chest will speak.
No, this was sitting on my wife's chest.
That's what I'm saying. But sometimes when you can't move, but it'll speak. You just happen to see it. You happen to
Right.
wake up and see what most people never get an opportunity to get a gander at.
It was amazing. And the reason why I tie this into the Anubis is because I believe in another form of I believe in reincarnation as well.
Yeah.
Now, I really believe that, and I've pieced this together. And
I mean, over the years, you can see pictures of people looking the same from one body to another body.
So they say reincarnation
Could
is a
be
soul trap.
in the front.
They say that, and this
They
is
said what?
modern day science is somewhat corroborating this, but they say that reincarnation is a soul trap. That theoretically, when you die, you see the bright light, and you're coaxed to go towards it, but you don't want to do that. You want to go the other direction into the darkness, and that will actually lead you back out into the celestial cosmos from which you came. The bright light leads you into a soul trap, which they say is a program that is up on our moon that recycles your soul back down here and keeps you, because they are using the energy over and over as recycled energy. You go by the soul trap that they have on the moon and then end up right back down here in another body with your mind wiped. And you can't remember being here for the eons that you've been here. But what they're saying is that everybody's been here for eons and eons and eons,
No,
and you just keep starting you over.
But no, they say we used to live longer than we live now. We used to
Yep.
live up to 500,000 years.
Yep. And they took all of the magnesium out of our atmosphere and replaced it with oxygen and turned us from the blue and green colors that we were. And this technically is a rust color from being oxidized, and shortened our lifespan. With the lengthening of the lifespan. They figured out how it is done. This is almost a perfect example of what they were talking about. Telomere caps is what they're called. The telomere caps were sealed on both sides like this, all the way around. They made it look like it does here on this piece of plastic, took them off, shortening our lifespan to 120 years tops from the few thousand years that we actually had previous to it.
Hold on. So hold on. So you're saying the oxygen in the air is why we're these colors?
Yes.
Scientifically.
We were blue and green and orange and red and other colors like that, comprised of environment of magnesium previous to this, yes. And
I have to look into that a little bit more.
And that they showed you the atmospheric composition when they show you movies like Avatar, where they also are showing you the huge trees that are being cut down.
No, those have some truths for sure.
Yeah, like the mountain ranges.
As far as the oxygen in the skin, I have to.
Okay, guys, we got to wrap up. I want to thank you guys
Yeah.
for being here in my presence. You know, you're the truth, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
I really appreciate you.
Got family back at home, but I'm cruising down the highway, chasing